Manchester United news. Now, before we get going, make sure you are liking the video. Make sure, if you've not already, subscribed, hit notification bell, all that good stuff. We've got a few more things to talk about. It's international break. We're talking Paul Pogba. We've got some stuff about Cristiano Ronaldo and also about Victor Lindelof. Make sure you're getting involved in the chat. Make sure you're getting your questions in. I will be running through them all morning. But let's kick off talking about the main man and, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo. You seen it last night. He scored another hat-trick, as he does. That's what he does. He scored another hat-trick in Manchester United's 5-0 in Portugal's 5-0 win against Luxembourg last night. 2 from the penalty spot and then another goal. He's not bad, is he? Also, you've got Bruno Fernandes scoring a goal. Now, a lot of the talk before the international break was all about that game against Everton where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer seemingly dropped Cristiano Ronaldo ahead of the game and started with Cavani and all this kind of stuff. And the people going, why was he doing that? Why is he doing those things? And also, the talk before when Cristiano Ronaldo first signed for Manchester United was that he was finished. There was people tweeting saying he's finished, he's old, he's 36 years old, he's 36, nearly 37. We're not getting into that. He's getting to that sort of age. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do that. And since Cristiano Ronaldo has signed for Manchester United, put pen to paper, including the international break, he scored 10 goals in 8 games at 36 years old. He is an absolute freak. Now, there are a couple of people, I've seen a couple of people on Twitter this morning talking about, even though he's scoring the goals, even though he is doing that kind of stuff, is it the right thing for Manchester United? And I think that was probably what was going through Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's head. I think the one thing you've seen about Manchester United is since probably the Newcastle game, we have been a little bit lethargic. The pressing hasn't quite been there. There hasn't been that. And I think that's why he brought in Cavani, because I think he wanted that kind of pressing. He wanted that bit more energy in the team, which you're not going to get from Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, it didn't work out. Yes, we got the goal, but didn't really kick into gear. But I think what you're going to see coming in the next few weeks is the return of Marcus Rashford. You've seen Jadon Sancho in these last few weeks get a bit more gear. It takes away the kind of pressure of our centre forward to having to do the pressing when you've got the likes of Marcus Rashford, you've got the likes of Bruno Fernandes, you've got the likes of even Jadon Sancho, adding a bit of pace, adding a bit of dynamism out there. I think that will put less pressure on Cristiano Ronaldo to do that kind of work and let him do what he does best. Like scoring goals, like scoring hat-tricks, like he was doing last night. So exciting to see Cristiano Ronaldo scoring more and more goals. 10 goals in 8 games is ridiculous for any player, especially for someone at 36 years old. But that was Cristiano Ronaldo's night last night. Moving on from that, the big story. We've got Paul Pogba here. This has kind of rumbled on all week. And this article that we've got this morning that I've seen is from AS. It's been picked up by all sorts of places. It's been picked up by the Express and all those kind of places, saying that Paul Pogba is looking likely to go to Real Madrid, and Real Madrid are going to come back in to sign in Paul Pogba. Now, the reason they've kind of said this is that they want to sign Kylian Mbappe, and they want to get Paul Pogba signed, got him done, bring him on a free transfer, which will then entice Mbappe to come along and sign for Real Madrid. Now, he didn't sign the contract with Mbappe. That was the big thing in the summer around Mbappe, around PSG, that he didn't sign the contract. He didn't do that. He didn't get his move away, even though he asked for it. So he's going to be available on a free transfer, seemingly going to Real Madrid. I'm sure there'll be many clubs that put a last-minute contract off on the table for Kylian Mbappe, but it's going to be about what they can offer. Now, Real Madrid had all sorts of different problems last summer. They had all sorts of different problems. You know, Perez coming out, he was the one that was pushing for the Super League, but they want to get Real Madrid back to where they were. They've lost a lot of players in the last few years. The likes of Cristiano Ronaldo has left. The midfield of Cruz and Modric is kind of getting to an aging situation. You've lost Varane and Ramos. You know, Marcelo's getting on a bit. Carvajal, they've lost a lot of players. So it's going to be the next rebuild for them. Now, as you've seen with a lot of clubs, they've not got the cash maybe anymore to do this. They're not going to be able to sign these players, Paul Pogba being one of them. And Paul Pogba, they're going to look to try and get on a free transfer. Now, Fabrizio Romano has been talking to Stephen Howson, the lad that's upstairs there. He's been speaking to him about the Paul Pogba contract situation and has said also, he said, look, you need to look at it as a Raiola client, what they've done. Look at the perfect example is what happened with Donnarumma last summer. They didn't announce anything until May. They didn't say anything until May, and then they confirmed and went, look, He's not going to sign a new contract. He's going to go on a free transfer, and that was it. So he's saying, do not expect Paul Pogba to be making his decision anytime soon. Now, that is a flip to what was kind of been reported start of this week, saying that Paul Pogba was ready to sign a new deal. He was all done. He's happy at Manchester United. Now, look, I think he is happy at Manchester United. I don't think there's a case of he's going to be unhappy if he signs a new contract. I also don't think it is a big deal where it's going to be a money thing. I don't think it's the case of if Manchester United don't offer him a certain contract, he's not going to stay. I think he's just assessing his options. I think he's got all sorts of different ones on the table. He's mentioned about Juventus this week. Now, that wasn't him. That was kind of the journalist kind of led him on, said, what have you been saying to, do you still keep in contact with Juventus and all this? And he answered, yes, I speak to Dybala. I liked it there and all that kind of stuff. He'll also be asked about Real Madrid again. Now, the Mbappe link-up and all these different things, there's a chance that Real Madrid come back into him. I don't see him getting this contract done anytime soon. I don't see it going to happen in January. I think he's going to do what I think he's going to do with a lot of his clients, knowing that people haven't got the cash, run that contract down, get into the last 6 months, let him have all the options on the table, let him have the free offer from Juventus, the free offer from Real Madrid, and the new contract from Manchester United, and then him decide what he's going to do. Guys, get in the comments, let us know. What do you think we should do with Paul Pogba? What do you think should happen to Paul Pogba? Should we have let him go early? Should we have cashed in on him? Have we missed that boat, and should we have done that early? Because now it's looking like if he is going to go, it's going to be for free. And all this kind of stuff. McLaren in the comments saying, it'd be stupid to go for Madrid. Premier League is the place to be at the moment. I completely agree. I think a lot of players completely agree. I think the money's in the Premier League. You've seen even Newcastle coming in. There is going to be more and more money coming into the Premier League. I completely agree. However, there is still this thing about Real Madrid. There's still this bit of magic about them that I think a lot of the players, especially from the continent, go, do you know what? I'd love to play for Real Madrid. Whether you're Mbappe, whether you're Paul Pogba, you've seen what Cristiano Ronaldo did, where he moved over. That was always his thing to do. Real Madrid still has that thing. Playing at the Bernabeu, even if they aren't the best team in the world, even if they can't offer that, even if it's not the money, I still think there's something about it. And I think that there's a chance that Paul Pogba will definitely be considering his options next summer, and Real Madrid will definitely be on the table. Now, the last one I'm going to talk to you guys about this morning is Victor Lindelof. Now, Victor Lindelof last night played 90 minutes for Sweden, and that was a bit of a boost for Manchester United. Look, he's kind of been a bit of a forgotten man. He's played cup games now and again. He played against Everton with Harry Maguire out, but he was a little bit of, as soon as Varane went in, you went, right, Lindelof, you're done, you're gone, it's finished. You ain't playing for Manchester United anymore. These are the two, but it's going to be an important 6 weeks for Victor Lindelof, or at least 6 games, for Victor Lindelof. Harry Maguire out, not too sure how long that's going to be. It may be another few weeks. We've got a few big games in that. It got confirmed that Rafa Varane will be out for, Manchester United said, a couple of weeks, which could be up to 5 or 6 games. It could easily be 5 or 6 games, which means that Victor Lindelof is going to have to step up. Now, he missed the game at the weekend that he played for Sweden because he was staying in Manchester, birth of a child, so he stayed and missed that game. He then played last night. He captained Sweden, 90 minutes, good performance. They won 2-0 against Greece. Victor Lindelof back in the team. Now, a lot of people, what do you think about Victor Lindelof? Because for me, he's going to be very, very important for Manchester United in the coming weeks. He's either going to be partnering Harry Maguire. He may need to go back into partner Eric Bailly for a few games. Also, you don't know how Harry Maguire is going to, he had that massive run of games where he didn't miss a game for Manchester United. He's had a couple of injuries. Maybe he's going to have to be rotated a bit more. So you're probably going to see a lot of Victor Lindelof and a lot of Eric Bailly. And there is still Phil Jones, but I don't see Phil Jones playing. But that you may see in a cup game, if we do get that win against Atalanta, maybe in the second leg of it or the second half of that game, you may see someone like Phil Jones maybe get a few minutes. But Victor Lindelof is going to be one of our most experienced, if not the most experienced defender on the pitch for Manchester United in the coming weeks. So a lot of pressure on Victor Lindelof. I think he's going to, I think not harsh because he played, but, because that's the game it is. But I think he played very, very well against Leeds. He played well at the start of the season. United looked all right. Varane came in. You had to get Varane into the team. You're not going to drop Harry Maguire. So it was a little bit harsh on Victor Lindelof, but he's going to have a big part to play. Let's have a look at your comments. LJ said Lindelof's been all right alongside Varane, to be fair. I agree. I think this was one of those things that, same thing with kind of what happened to Manchester City. You know, Man City signed Ruben Diaz, and that was expected to be. It's going to be Diaz and Laporte, and that'll be the pairing. All of a sudden, John Stones steps in, and he does the job for Manchester City. And then all of a sudden you go, do you know what? Maybe that's the pairing. And that might be the case for Manchester United. You know, Lindelof playing alongside Varane. Is that the pairing we need? I think you need Harry Maguire in terms of heading the ball. I think you need that kind of stuff. But I think Victor Lindelof is going to have a massive part to play this season. And especially in the next few weeks, he's going to have to put in some of the performances like he did last season against those big teams, because we've got a horrendous run of fixtures. And without Harry Maguire, without Rafael Varane, it's going to need to be Lindelof. Couple more of your comments that I'll get through. Scrappy Do saying, anyone fancy the back three, Lindelof, Bailly and Shaw? I said in the office yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised if we did go to a back three. A little bit more protection. It allows us to maybe not play the favoured midfield. You know, a lot of people are going to be happy, but we're going to be missing Fred this weekend against Leicester City because he plays for Brazil at 8:30 on Friday morning. So he's not going to be available for the Leicester City game. So you're looking at our midfield options are McTominay, Matic and Van der Beek. They're the only two, along maybe Paul Pogba as well. So it's not your usual midfield. So maybe you start with Pogba and McTominay. You have a back three, a little bit more secure. You play the likes of Tellez, maybe Delo at wing back, Wan-Bissaka as well, a little bit more secure, and it allows you to play the likes of Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo, without having that worry in midfield. And maybe that's the option going forward. Maybe we see more of a back three. I don't know whether we're going to see Varane, Maguire, Lindelof when everyone's fit, but I do think there's a chance that we could see a back three. Maybe Luke Shaw dropping back now and again. A few more questions, a few more comments here. Rashing Lindelof make you a goal in 2 moves. I agree. You know, there was a couple of times last season, and I think Lindelof's pass at the start of the season again for Bruno. He has that range of passing. He has that, which, look, we've got our weaknesses in midfield. Sometimes we do need to bypass that, and Lindelof has that pass. He has that ball over the top. So I do like Lindelof in there. I just worry about him in the air. That is the big worry. He is dreadful at heading the ball. Remember that clip of Mourinho talking just before the start of the season, him saying he can't head the ball, and he literally just jumps up and misses the ball. That is the worry with Victor Lindelof. But on the ball, running in the channels, Victor Lindelof is a quality defender. Few more comments. Victor is the man. He can do it. Faith, he's not captain of Sweden for nothing. Exactly. It's good to see. It's good to see a lot of Manchester United players captaining and being major parts of these clubs. Let's have a look what else we've got. We've got Asim Hans saying, hopefully Pogba and his perennial toxic drama is out the door. He isn't worth the money he's asking for, and his performances have been average at best. I think there's a lot of people that agree with you. For me, Paul Pogba is a quality footballer, and I think that if Manchester United are going to get back to being the best around, I'd like to see Paul Pogba signed up. I think that kind of shows that where Manchester United are, if we can keep Paul Pogba signed up and all that good stuff. But that is all from me this morning. Make sure you are liking this video. Let's get to 100 likes on this video as soon as possible. Let's get to 500 likes on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because honestly, there is some quality stuff coming this week. We may have some ex-players on. We may be talking about that. We've got a really good debate coming out later on today, and also a brand new podcast coming out, which I know you all are going to love. It's going to be fantastic. So make sure you subscribed and hit the notification bell. And if you've not already, check out the merch. We've got the Scholes shirt. We've got all that good stuff. We've got Fernandes, there's Marcus Rashford stuff. Make sure you are checking out the merch. The link is in the description for that. That has been all from me this morning. I have been Alex. Make sure you're liking the video, and I will see you in the next one. Laters.